Okay, for the last lesson of lesson 16, number 10, I can't actually do much for you because this is a chance for you to improve the game you created in lesson 15. So if you look, we have our exact same game. I have my mushroom and my frog. I've got when the frog is on the ground, I can make it jump and I can make it stop moving. All of these things we did back in lesson 15. Well, on this one, they want us to use the is touching block to come up with at least two other effects when the sprites are touching. So there are lots of things you can do. And what I'm going to do is give you a couple of suggestions. The easiest thing to do is to go to the Sprites tab in the toolbox and look at all the options you have. You can put any of these options inside of an is touching if block, and that would work. You can change the animation of either the frog or the mushroom. You can change the X position or the Y position of either one of the sprites. You could change their speeds. You can make one invisible, one visible. You can rotate them. You can do all of these things as an effect of when there is touching. So while I'm not going to be able to give you much else of what you're going to do, I'm going to just show you some things you can do. So the first thing is you're going to need an if block. I'm going to drag it all the way down here to the bottom because I feel like it's easier to work when I've got something there. I'm going to go to sprites and I'm going to say if frog is touching mushroom. Okay. Now, anything I put inside this block, anything at all, will allow my game to do something when the mushroom is touched. So I could create a variable called score at the beginning, and I could increase the score by one every time they touch, or decrease the score by one, meaning that they're negative points. I could go to world, and I can play a sound when they touch. I could go to sprites, which I'm going to do now, and I'm going to make, you know what, I'm going to change the animation. So instead of, a certain animation for the frog or mushroom, I'm going to change it to something else. So I'll say, okay, mushroom.set animation, and I'll change it to make it look exactly like the frog. So now when I run it, I've got this thing, and oh no, as soon as my frog touches, now my mushroom is a frog. And you could do that. You can make it all sorts of things. You can create new animations. There's no limit to what you can do on this. The important part is that you have to have an is touching block, and then your change is happening. Now you need at least two. You can come up with as much as you want. If you go back to lesson 9 or part 9 of lesson 16, you'll see two examples that they already had. They changed the score and they changed the X and Y position. Those are two changes, and all of a sudden you've completed the lesson. It's up to you what you do, but whatever you do, put it inside this if frog is touching mushroom, and as long as they're inside those blocks, then you'll be able to finish and do exactly what you want.